Hello and welcome. In this video we would like to introduce a website designed to verify the authenticity of the Quran. God willing, this video will serve as a brief tutorial to help you navigate the website more easily. In the image you can see the link to the site. On the first page we find the heading The Criterion. That is the name of the Musaf, which serves as the foundation for the website. And then you will see a brief explanation of what the website aims to achieve. With Surah 15 verse 9, indeed we brought down the reminder, and indeed we, for it, surely protect us. It is once again emphasized that the Quran has been protected and that the website aims to enable everyone to verify this for themselves. When we click enter, we proceed to phase 1. Phase 1. Phase 1 briefly explains the rules of simplifying the text. This means that we have not used diacritical marks in the Arabic text for the criterion, Codex, because most manuscripts of the Quran from the 1st century of Islam did not include such marks. Anyone interested can search for relevant manuscripts on the Corpus Coranicum website. You can also read other codexes, such as Warsh, Hafs, and so on, with diacritical marks. Now let's select the Hafs codex under witness. You can also choose Warsh, Qalun, or Duri. We currently have a total of 8 Quran codexes used by mainstream Islam. On this website, the Criterion presents our own Quran Codex, which was compiled through years of work and years of comparison with the oldest Quran manuscripts. When we click on Hafs, we will see the Arabic text with diacritical marks on the left and on the right. Only the 28 Arabic letters without diacritical marks, and without the Hamza, because the Hamza is not listed in the oldest Quran manuscripts. I refer you again to the Corpus Coranicum website. Phase 2. In Phase 2, you can now count the 28 Arabic letters in any surah. For example, let's take the Quranic text according to Hafs. Here we select Surah 2 and verse 10. Now we can click on the Arabic letter Alif and the website will highlight every Alif present in the verse and show us the numbers of Alifs in this verse, as well as how many alifs are present in the entire Surah 2. If we click on Arabic letter Ba, it will also highlight the letter and show us the number in the verse and in the entire Surah. 2b, Quranic initials. In section 2b, we can count the so-called Quranic initials. A brief explanation. The Quran begins at the start of 29 surahs with 14 combinations of Arabic letters. For example, in Surah 2 verse 1, the Quran begins with the 3 Arabic letters Alif, Lam, Mim. And here we can count these Arabic letters. If we take Surah 2 as an example and count the letter Alif, the website will show us how many Alifs there are in Surah 2 and display the sum of the 3 Arabic letters. Under mode 19, it will show us whether the sum of the 3 letters is a multiple of 19 or not. Depending on the surah, the letter variations may change. Phase 3. Let's now move on to Phase 3. In Phase 3, we can now see 7 different metrics. M1. Letter count. Total number of letters per verse, per surah and globally. M2. Word count. Total number of words per verse, per surah and globally. M3. Abjad sum. Numeric value of letters using classical abjad mapping. A brief explanation. What is an abjad value? In the abjad system, letters are defined as numbers for comparison. The Romans also used the Latin alphabet as numbers, whereas Arabic letters each have a corresponding numerical value, as you can see here in the image. M4. Forward letter concatenation. Surah level concatenation of letter totals. This means you take the abjad value of each letter and write them side by side. This is a concatenation. M5. Forward word concatenation. Surah-level concatenation of word totals. This means you take the abjad value of words and write them side by side. M6. Reverse concatenation. Reverse ordering tests for M4 and M5. This means you take the abjad value of each letter and write them side by side, but this time in reverse order. M7. Composite global logs. Cross-matrix constraints combining M4 to M6. This means you take the abjad value of the word and write it side by side, but this time backwards. If we select a Quranic codex, then a surah, and then choose M1 under metric, which refers to the letter count, we can see, for example, that Surah 1, verse 1 has 19 letters, Surah 1, verse 2 has 17 letters, and this information is displayed for each verse. If we select metric 2, we can now count the words. Surah 1, verse 1 has exactly 4 Arabic words, and so on for each metric. Phase 4. In phase 4, we can view the sum of the letters, the sum of the words, the sum of the abjad value, the sum of the letter concatenation, the sum of the word concatenation, the sum of the reverse letter concatenation, and the sum of the reverse word concatenation for each individual surah. For example, Surah 1 has 139 letters, and if we now select word count, we see that Surah 1 has 29 words. Under abjad sum, we see that Surah 1 has a numerical value of 10,143. M4 looks a bit more complicated than it actually is. To visualize this long number, let's simply go back to phase 3 and select M4 there. The value from phase 4 is simply the total sum of M4 concat letters, meaning it consists of the values we see here on the right. If we now go back to phase 4 and select M5, there we see the sum of the word concatenations for each surah. We can verify this by going to phase 3 and selecting M5 there. We could enter the values on the right into an Excel spreadsheet or a calculator, and that would give us the value from phase 4. M6 and M7 are essentially the same as M4 and M5, just in reverse. If we see log written next to them, it simply means that the number is a multiple of 19, phase 5. In phase 5, we can see the global logs here. A global log refers to the entire Quran. For example, in the Criterion edition, there are 322,392 letters, which is marked here as in log, meaning this number is a multiple of 19. These values may vary depending on the edition of the Quran. I will now explain what each variant means. As we mentioned earlier, meter 1 refers to the total number of letters, and for each of these meters we go through 6 variants. Variant A is simply the sum of all the letters. Variant B is simply the number of letters in each verse. For example, Surah 1 verse 1 has 19 letters and verse 2 has 17 letters, and we continue this way until the end of the Quran. Variant C is the same method applied in reverse. In this case, Surah 114 verse 6 has exactly 13 and verse 5 has 20 letters, and we continue this way until the beginning of the Quran. Variation D simply counts the letters backward. Variant E concatenates the sum of the letters. For example, in Surah 1 we have exactly 139 letters, and Surah 2 we have 25,470 letters. Then comes Surah 3 with 14,537 letters. If we now write the numbers side by side, we obtain the concatenate number, and this was done in variant E, all the way to the last surah, thus yielding this number. Variant F does the same but in reverse, meaning we go to Surah 114 and do the same. Variant G is listed only once for each Mus'haf. In variant G, we simply concatenate M1A, M2A, and so on up to M6A, thus obtaining this number. Phase 6. In phase 6 there is a sandbox, which means you can experiment with the Quran Codex the criterion. When I select full Musaf, the entire Quran Codex is displayed. Here I can now remove verses, add verses, or move letters, and so on. When I click compute, it will show me on the right how everything collapses. Clicking restore canonical resets the text. Here you can only use the criterion as the codex. Phase 7. In Phase 7 you will find a complete overview of our work and the methodology, as well as our conclusion and so on. If you scroll all the way down, you can also download the work. Important, you will need WinRAR or 7-zip to open the file. If you now click on Phase 1, Phase 2 and Phase 3, you can download the files.